Atomos Ninja TX, Atomos Ninja V, which one should you get in 2025? Let's break down some of the key differences so that you can make an informed purchase. So here we have the Atomos Ninja V. This I've had for a few years along with the other monitors in the Atomos Ninja line. I have one for each of my cameras. So with the V, you are going to be able to put an SSD in the back, but it is going to be a chunkier fit. You can also take an NVMe out and put it in an Andy Sin lunchbox. It is going to give you a smaller footprint, but for the smallest footprint, the Ninja TX wins because you can put a CF Express Type B card right into the monitor and record to the card. That is fantastic. So if you're looking for the smallest portable recording solution and the fastest read and write speeds and offload time, definitely I would say the TX wins there. Now let's talk about form factor. They're roughly the same from the front and from this side, but when you get to the back, that's where things really get interesting. So on the back of the TX, you do have that same NPF battery slot, but you have your HDMI and your SDI on the back of the monitor. So with the Ninja V, you had your HDMI on the side, and that was it. Here, you're getting HDMI and SDI. If you wanted to add SDI to your Atomos Ninja, you would have had to purchase something like this adapter. That's additional money. And this only gives you, well, this does give you the SDI in and out. So with the TX, they've eliminated this huge chunky unit and they've added it directly onto the monitor itself. Another thing to note is with the Ninja V, if you wanted to connect it wirelessly to upload to the cloud or anything like that, you needed to purchase an additional Wi-Fi unit, something like the Atomos Connect, and that added some bulkiness to the back, and it just made the whole unit chunkier. They've now stripped that down and they've added that, and it's now built in on the Atomos TX. Also, the screen is way brighter at 1500 nits on the Atomos TX. With the Atomos Ninja, you needed to purchase all the licenses individually. So if you wanted to get H.265 or NDI, you had to pay an additional $100 for each of those. It was very piecemeal, which wasn't the best route in my opinion. But this one includes all the licenses you need: ProRes, NDI, RAW, H.265. Everything you need is in this one unit. You don't have to spend any additional money. There's also, you have your 12G SDI, again, that wireless built-in transmission. You have 2 USB-C ports here that you can use to connect a hard drive. You have multiple ways to power this unit. You can use the NPF battery, you can use USB-C, so that's really great to have those options added. So pretty much, if it boils down to the features that you want. But honestly, I'd rather go for the full package that has everything included, because when you add up all the pieces that you're gonna want to, add to this to build it out how you want to, it's gonna end up equaling this anyway. Once you add the Connect, once you add the SDI adapters, once you pay for the licenses, you're pretty much gonna be at or more than what this costs, which is close to $1,000. So my recommendation, if you can afford it right out the gate, go for the Atomos Ninja TX, especially if you want to, or if you value sending your footage to the cloud so that your editor can start working on it while you are in the field. And even for someone like me, where I do a lot of red carpets and I transmit what I'm shooting live, this for me is more compact and a better design, and just easier for me to operate in the field. However, if you have a smaller budget and you're just starting out, still definitely go for the Ninja V or the traditional Atomos Ninja, because it is better to have a monitor that records than it is to not have one. And since this monitor just came out, of course, the prices of the older monitor is gonna go down. So I think out the gate, this might cost you, $500-600, but you can get this used and play closer to $300 for a monitor that also records. So if you can't get the TX, definitely go for the Ninja or go for a used Ninja. It is a good investment. Again, all my Ninja Vs, all my Ninjas still work. That's the doorbell ringing, so I'll find out who's at the door actually, because So there you have it. That's my 2 cents on the Atomos Ninja TX. It is truly a nice upgrade to the Atomos Ninja. Definitely go for the TX if your budget allows. If not, definitely still get yourself an Atomos Ninja because it is one of the, if not the best monitors on the market that also record. I am the Chef Gal and you just got the recipe.